doors open, so it's sticking out in that left-hand lane. And it looks like now eastbound 580 just before Highway 24, you have a stalled vehicle that's off to the 4-point. Your next traffic update is at 11:38 on the traffic leader, KCBS.
Your Bay Area forecast calling for partly cloudy to coastal fog and clear skies in the inland valleys. Lows from the 40s to 50s and then sunny and breezy tomorrow. Highs from the 60s to low 70s. Traffic and weather together on the 8th on KCBS.
This September, make sure your emergency plan includes clean, affordable solar power from Goal Zero. Goal Zero generators and home backup systems can power your fridge, freezer, lights, Wi-Fi, TV, and more. Learn more at goalzero.com.
When you can't stop, there's Vicks Vapor Rub. Vicks Vapor Rub sends powerful medicated Vicks vapors right to the source of your... so you can experience cough relief and breathe easier. Generations of families have trusted Vicks Vapor Rub to help relieve the worst cold symptoms. So next time you have a cough, reach for the Vicks Vapor Rub. Vicks Vapor Rub. Cough relieving is believing. Real talk, kids are gonna kid. And sometimes that can look messier, ickier, and stickier than we'd like to admit. Child sneezes. But there is one thing we can protect them from, and that's COVID-19. Keep your family safer with vaccines and boosters. Find one near you at myturn.ca.gov. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health. News that matters to you. Around the Bay, around the world, around the clock. All news 106.9 and AM 740 KCBS.
It's Tuesday, October 25th, 2022. Pennsylvania's Senate candidates met tonight for their only debate.
This is Matt Bigler at the Oakland Zoo.
The zoo is amazing, but it is expensive.
How a measure on the November ballot could change that for Oakland residents.
Good evening, I'm John Evans. KCBS News Time, 11:31.
CBS News Brief. In Pennsylvania, the candidates for U.S. Senate went toe-to-toe in a debate Tuesday night. Democrat John Fetterman attacked the campaign spending of Republican Mehmet Oz.
Here's a man that spent more than $20 million of his own money to try to buy that seat.
Oz was asked if he'd vote for Donald Trump in 2024.
I would support Donald Trump if he decided to run for president.
A Russian court has denied WNBA star Brittany Griner's appeal of her 9-year prison sentence for drug possession. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre.
Our hearts are with Brittany Griner, her wife and her family, friends and teammates in light of the appalling news out of Russia.
In her trial, Griner admitted to having vape canisters of prescribed cannabis oil in her luggage, testifying that she inadvertently packed them and had no criminal intent. Her lawyer said her sentence is excessive. CBS News Brief. I'm Christopher Cruz.
KCBS News Time, 11:32. American basketball star Brittany Griner suffered a major setback today when her appeal was denied by a Moscow court upholding her 9-year Russian prison sentence. And correspondent Weija Jiang says Griner now will be sent to a labor camp.
Appearing from her jail cell in a live video, Brittany Griner pleaded with the Russian appeals court to reconsider her prison sentence.
I've been here almost 8 months, and people with more severe crimes have gotten less than what I was getting.
The WNBA star told a 3-judge panel that her time behind bars has already taken a toll.
It's been very, very stressful and a very traumatic amount of mental and fighting being away from my family.
Griner will now be sent to a penal colony, a type of labor camp known for brutal conditions.
We're in constant contact with the Russian authorities to get Brittany and others out. And so far, we've not believed with we're not stopping.
Over the summer, the Biden administration proposed a prisoner swap possibly involving Russian arms dealer Victor Bout in exchange for Griner and another American, Paul Whelan. But Kremlin officials would not discuss a deal until the judicial process played out. Griner was arrested at a Moscow airport for carrying vape cartridges filled with hashish oil just days before Russia invaded Ukraine. Griner's wife, Sherelle, told Gail King the thought of BG, as she calls her, going to a labor camp is hard to stomach. Me and BG are operating in a position where, we have to prepare for the worst. President Biden has said he would meet with Vladimir Putin next month at the G20 summit in Indonesia if Putin approves him to talk about Griner's release. The White House says there are no plans for the two leaders to meet.
COVID hospitalizations are up in some states. RSV cases are rising across the country, and flu cases have doubled in 2 weeks. CBS News correspondent Meg Oliver reporting on the triple threat.
Can you spell your last name for me?
COVID-19, the flu, and RSV already causing severe illness ahead of normal peaks.
We're here with a simple message. Get vaccinated.
The White House sounding the alarm for everyone over 5 to get a flu and COVID vaccine.
The thing that we always are paying attention to is making sure there's plenty of hospital capacity. So right now, our focus is get people vaccinated, get people treated, and keep people out of the hospital.
Walgreens reports flu cases have doubled over the past 2 weeks and are spreading at a high rate across the South. This as the CDC reports 3 million fewer flu shots than at this time last year.
What are you concerned about?
I think with the combined RSV, flu, potential COVID surge, I think children's hospitals and pediatrics in general are going to experience a lot of what the adult hospitals experienced in March and April of 2020 when COVID first hit.
In New Jersey, COVID hospitalizations are up slightly compared to last week, and RSV cases are rising across the country.
I was worried, and I also knew that the hospital was the only place that she would get the support she needed.
Sarah Kornblitt rushed her 4-year-old daughter to the hospital on Sunday with RSV.
How bad do the symptoms get?
She started having fevers a few days after she started getting sick, and then on Thursday afternoon, her oxygen started going down.
Right after our interview, Sarah's daughter was taken off oxygen and allowed to go home. While there's no vaccine for RSV, Dr. Slavin says October is the month to get your flu shot to protect you through March, typically the end of flu season.
We have a developing story tonight in the East Bay. Alameda County firefighters have their hands full. Several cars caught fire in an underground parking garage at an apartment complex, Hayes Street in San Leandro. This started about an hour ago. Crews are still there. The cause is under investigation. We'll check traffic and weather coming up next. KCBS News Time, 11:36.
Hey, it's Kenny Mayne. I'm the host of Hey Mayne, the Kenny Mayne Talks to Famous People podcast. Season 1's out there in the universe. You can go back in time and find anybody you want, as long as I interviewed them. Season 2 is coming up Thursday, October 13th. We got Keith Olbermann and Dan Patrick together again. Sue Bird is involved. Rex Chapman, Dan Levitard, Katie Nolan, Allison Becker. Sorry for all the others I interviewed who I left out. Oh yeah, Soledad O'Brien, she was good. Get it on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
Were you abused by a priest or clergy member? You're not alone, and we can help you hold the church accountable, regardless of your age, and even if your abuser is no longer working or even living. Thousands of victims have filed claims and been awarded significant compensation, but the deadline is quickly approaching, so call Stop Clergy Abuse right now. Your call is free, private, and confidential. Even if you don't remember the abuser's name, we may be able to help, but time is limited, so call now. Catholic dioceses have paid more than $3 billion to victims, with the average national settlement at $268,000. In parts of California, the settlements are much higher. Call 855-43-ABUSE now, or soon you may forever lose your chance to file a claim. You can't change the past, but you can be compensated for it. Call 855-43-ABUSE. A representative is standing by to help. Call 855-43-ABUSE. That's 855-43-ABUSE.
KCBS News Time, 11:38. Time for a traffic check on a Tuesday night. Here's Carol.
In the Vacaville area now, we did have both directions of Highway and Interstate 80 temporarily blocked. Just east of Meridian, this was so that some power lines could be repaired. Westbound traffic has been backed up to Midway Road. Eastbound from
storm just before Weber Road, but it looks like that work may be over with now, and it should be, traffic there should be recovering shortly. Also in Antioch, emergency crews still on the scene of a possible hit-and-run accident. It's westbound 4